In a world not too far from our own, humanity had reached the pinnacle of technological advancement, where the very essence of dreaming was no longer left to the whims of sleep. Dreams were designed, crafted, and controlled by an elite group known as dream engineers. This cadre of visionaries had the power to sculpt dreams into any form, offering experiences that ranged from the ecstatically surreal to the deeply therapeutic. Yet, as the years passed, this art, once revered, faded into obscurity, leaving behind a society that had forgotten the wild, untamed beauty of a naturally occurring dream. Amidst this backdrop of forgotten magic and lost wonder, there lived an individual who was the embodiment of a bygone era, the last dream engineer. Known to the few who remembered as simply the engineer, this solitary figure possessed knowledge and skills that had been abandoned by the world. The engineer lived in a small, cluttered workshop nestled at the edge of the city, where the glow of neon lights barely reached, and the hum of the city's heart was a distant whisper. The engineer, whose name was Eli, had watched the world change from one that marveled at the mysteries of the mind to one that sought to control every aspect of human experience. He remembered a time when dreams were the ultimate escape, a realm where the impossible became possible, and the human spirit was free to explore the depths of its creativity and fears. But now, the world had become a place where emotions were regulated, and dreams were nothing more than another tool for efficiency and productivity. One night, as Eli sat surrounded by the relics of his craft, ancient dream catchers, spools of dream thread, and jars filled with essence of imagination, he made a decision. He would embark on a quest not just to revive the lost art of dream engineering, but to remind humanity of what it had lost, the power to dream freely, and the vital role those dreams played in their existence. Eli knew the journey would be perilous, for he would have to navigate the minds of others, each a labyrinth more complex than the last. But he also knew it was a journey worth taking. His first step was to enter the dream of someone who had not truly dreamed in years, a young woman named Maya, whose life had become the epitome of the sterile, emotionless existence that had taken hold of society. Eli prepared his equipment, an intricate array of devices and potions that would allow him to bridge the gap between his mind and hers, and he initiated the connection. As Eli stepped into Maya's dream, he found himself in a world of gray, a place where color and joy had been leached from the very fabric of the environment. It was a stark reflection of the world outside, a manifestation of the collective loss of humanity's spirit. Yet, Eli saw potential in this desolate landscape. He saw the faint spark of imagination that still flickered within Maya, waiting to be rekindled. And so, the engineer began his work, weaving threads of color and light into the fabric of Maya's dream, introducing elements of wonder and adventure that had long been forgotten. With each change, he watched as the gray world transformed, blooming with vibrancy and life. Eli knew this was just the beginning, the first step on a long journey to awaken the world from its slumber. As Maya's dream shifted from monochrome to a kaleidoscope of possibilities, Eli realized the true power of dreams. They were not merely escapes from reality, but mirrors reflecting one's deepest hopes, fears, and desires. In reviving the art of dream engineering, Eli hoped to remind humanity of the importance of imagination, emotion, and the unexplored territories of their own minds. As the first light of dawn crept into his workshop, Eli withdrew from Maya's dream, leaving behind a seed of change. He understood that the road ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges and unknowns. Yet, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was the last dream engineer, the guardian of a forgotten art, and his quest to save humanity from an emotionless existence had only just begun. As the new day dawned, Eli, the last dream engineer, felt a renewed sense of determination. The successful alteration of Maya's dream had ignited a spark within him, a reminder of the profound impact his work could have on the world. Yet, he knew that to truly bring about change, he needed to reach more people, to spread the revival of dreaming far and wide. The challenge was daunting, but Eli was undeterred. He had a plan. His next step took him into the digital archives, a vast repository of knowledge that had been largely forgotten by the populace, obsessed as they were with the immediacy of their controlled experiences. Within these archives, Eli sought the records of ancient dreamscapes, blueprints of once common dream motifs, and tales of dream journeys that had inspired generations. His goal was ambitious: to engineer a collective dream, a shared experience that would awaken the masses from their emotional dormancy. To accomplish this, Eli needed to delve deeper into the mechanics of dream engineering than ever before. He spent days, then weeks, poring over old texts and experimenting with new dream compositions. He rediscovered forgotten techniques for weaving complex emotions and narratives into the fabric of dreams, methods that could engage the dreamer on a level far deeper than mere entertainment. Eli was crafting not just dreams, but experiences that could touch the soul. The centerpiece of his plan was a device of his own invention, a dream conductor, capable of synchronizing and broadcasting a dream to multiple people simultaneously. The engineering behind it was complex, involving the amplification of dream waves and the delicate balance of individual subconscious elements to create a cohesive, shared experience. The risk was significant. If his calculations were off, the dream could become a nightmare, spreading fear instead of inspiration. But Eli was careful, meticulous, and driven by a vision of what the world could become if only people remembered how to dream. Finally, the night arrived for Eli to initiate his grand experiment. He chose a quiet night, when the buzz of the city was at its lowest, and people's minds were most receptive to the influence of dreams. Eli activated the dream conductor, and with a deep breath, he released the dream into the ether. The dream began as a single point of light in the darkness, a beacon calling to the slumbering minds of the city. It expanded, enveloping each dreamer in a tapestry of stars, leading them into a landscape of boundless imagination. They found themselves in a world where the impossible was commonplace, where they could fly beside dragons, explore underwater cities, and walk the streets of civilizations lost to time. Emotions long suppressed, joy, wonder, fear, and hope, surged within them as they experienced adventures that stirred their souls. As the dream unfolded, Eli monitored its progress, adjusting frequencies and waveforms to ensure the experience remained harmonious. he could feel the collective consciousness of the city shifting. A subtle awakening as people began to remember the thrill of dreaming, the joy of unfettered imagination. When the morning came and the dreamers awoke, the city was abuzz with excitement. People shared their experiences, marveling at the vividness of the dreams and the emotions they had felt. For the first time in years, there was a sense of connection among them, a shared wonder that transcended the mundane reality of their lives. Eli watched from the shadows, a quiet observer of the awakening he had sparked. He knew this was only the beginning, that there was much more work to be done to fully restore the world's capacity to dream. But for now, he allowed himself a small smile, content in the knowledge that he had rekindled a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope for humanity's future. In the wake of the collective dream, the city found itself on the cusp of a renaissance of imagination. People from all walks of life were buzzing with newfound creativity and emotional depth, sharing stories of their dreams with a fervor that hadn't been seen in generations. But with this awakening came a ripple of concern from the authorities, who viewed the resurgence of uncontrolled dreaming as a potential threat to the societal order they had meticulously maintained. Eli, aware of the growing attention his actions were attracting, realized the need for caution. He understood that the path to restoring humanity's capacity to dream was fraught with obstacles, not least of which was the possibility of facing the very architects of the dreamless world he sought to change. Yet, the momentum of change was already in motion, and Eli felt compelled to push forward, to guide this awakening towards a future where dreams were once again valued and protected. His next endeavor was more personal, targeted at individuals who played key roles within the city's structure. Eli believed that by changing the hearts and minds of these influential figures, he could safeguard the dream revolution from being quashed before it had a chance to fully bloom. Using a modified version of his dream conductor, Eli embarked on a series of nocturnal journeys into the dreams of politicians, business moguls, and cultural leaders. One such journey brought him into the dream of a high-ranking official known for her stringent policies on emotional regulation. In her dream, Eli crafted a narrative that reminded her of her childhood, a time when she herself had experienced the unbridled joy and wonder of dreams. He guided her through a landscape of vivid memories and imaginary worlds, rekindling the sense of awe that had been suppressed by years of living in a controlled society. As the official awoke from her dream, the impact of the experience was palpable. She found herself questioning the policies she had so rigorously enforced, pondering the value of dreams and imagination she had long dismissed as frivolous. It was a subtle shift, but one that Eli hoped would grow, spreading seeds of doubt among those who had been most resistant to change. Meanwhile, Eli continued to refine his techniques, experimenting with ways to make the dream conductor more powerful and precise. He sought to create a network of dreamers, a collective consciousness that could share experiences and ideas in a way that transcended the physical boundaries of the city. This dream network would be a sanctuary for creativity and emotional exploration, a hidden realm where the human spirit could flourish, unchecked by the constraints of the waking world. But as Eli delved deeper into the realm of dreams, he also became aware of the dangers that lay within. The subconscious mind was a powerful force, capable of conjuring not only beauty and wonder, but also fear and darkness. Eli knew he had to tread carefully, ensuring that his interventions in the dreamscape were conducted with the utmost respect for the delicate balance of the mind. One night, as Eli connected to the dream network, he encountered a dream so dark and twisted it threatened to engulf the entire network in nightmare. It was a manifestation of the collective fears and anxieties that had been building in the city, amplified by the sudden resurgence of dreaming. Eli realized that this was the true challenge of his mission. Not just to awaken humanity to the power of dreams, but to guide them through the darkness that lay within, to help them confront and overcome their deepest fears. With determination and a deep sense of responsibility, Eli set out to navigate this nightmare, to transform it from a force of destruction into a catalyst for growth and understanding. It was a task that would test the limits of his skills as a dream engineer, but one he embraced with the full knowledge that the future of dreaming, and indeed, the future of humanity, depended on his success. Amidst the growing complexity of the dream network and the burgeoning shift in societal attitudes, Eli found himself at a crossroads. The encounter with the collective nightmare had revealed the vast potential for both healing and harm within the dreamscape. He recognized that his efforts to revitalize dreaming could not be solely focused on inspiring wonder. They must also address the shadows cast by fear and doubt. This dual mission required a deeper understanding of the human psyche than he had ever sought before. Eli devoted himself to studying the nature of nightmares, seeking to understand their origins and purposes within the tapestry of human experience. He discovered that nightmares, in their most primal form, were not merely expressions of fear, but calls to confront and resolve underlying conflicts and traumas. Armed with this knowledge, Eli began to see his role not just as an engineer of dreams, but as a guide, helping individuals navigate the darker corridors of their minds to find peace and resolution. His approach to the dream network evolved. Instead of merely injecting dreams with elements of fantasy and wonder, Eli started to weave in challenges and obstacles that mirrored the personal struggles of the dreamers. These were not insurmountable barriers, but invitations to engage with their fears in a space where they could control the outcome. The dream network became a realm of growth and healing, a place where individuals could confront their demons and emerge stronger. As word of this new phase of dreaming spread, the demand for Eli's expertise grew. More and more people sought out the dream network, not just for escape, but for the opportunity to engage with their deeper selves. Eli was careful to maintain the balance, ensuring that each dreamer's journey was personal and safe, guided by their own subconscious desires and needs. The impact of this transformation was profound. Individuals who had been burdened by unresolved fears began to find clarity and confidence. The collective mood of the city lightened, as if a fog had been lifted, revealing a brighter, more vibrant world. People started to engage with each other in more meaningful ways, sharing their experiences of growth and self-discovery. The Dream Network, once a clandestine project spearheaded by the last dream engineer, was becoming a cornerstone of a new culture that celebrated the full spectrum of human emotion and imagination. Eli's work also caught the attention of the academic and scientific communities, who were intrigued by the implications of his success. Researchers began to study the effects of the dream network, publishing findings that supported the therapeutic potential of dreaming. This scientific validation helped to further legitimize Eli's work, opening doors to collaborations that would integrate dream engineering with more conventional forms of psychological therapy. Amidst this burgeoning recognition, Eli remained focused on his mission. He understood that the journey was far from over. Each dream was a world unto itself, each dreamer a universe of potential. The challenges of navigating the dreamscape were manifold, but Eli faced them with the same determination and wonder that had set him on this path. He knew that the true power of dreams lay not in the escape they offered, but in the reflections they provided, a mirror to the soul, offering insights and opportunities for growth that the waking world could never match. As the dream network flourished, Eli envisioned a future where dreaming was not just an art, but a vital aspect of human life, a tool for exploration, healing, and connection. He looked forward to the day when he would no longer be the last dream engineer, but the pioneer of a new era where everyone could be the architect of their own dreams. As the dream network expanded, transforming the fabric of society, Eli witnessed the emergence of a new challenge: the balance between freedom and responsibility within the dreamscape. With the network's growth came a diversity of dreams more vast and complex than Eli had ever imagined. Dreamers were exploring the limits of their imaginations, creating worlds within worlds, each with its own rules and realities. This explosion of creativity was a testament to the success of Eli's mission, yet it also introduced the risk of chaos. Dreams could clash, merge, or influence each other in unpredictable ways, and the collective dreamscape risked becoming an unruly wilderness. Eli realized that for the dream network to continue to serve as a force for positive change, it needed structure. Not to limit the dreamers, but to protect them and the integrity of their creations. He began to work on a new project, a set of guidelines for the dream network, principles that would ensure the dreamscape remained a safe and nurturing environment for all. These guidelines were designed to foster respect, empathy, and understanding among dreamers, encouraging them to be mindful of the impact their dreams could have on others. To disseminate these principles, Eli created a series of dream workshops, spaces within the dreamscape where dreamers could learn about the ethics of dreaming. These workshops were not mandatory. Rather, they were invitations to engage with the dream community in a more meaningful way. Eli and a team of experienced dreamers, who he had trained as facilitators, guided participants through scenarios that illustrated the potential consequences of unchecked dreaming. They offered tools and techniques for resolving conflicts, creating collaborative dreams, and navigating the collective subconscious with care and consideration. The response to these workshops was overwhelmingly positive. Dreamers appreciated the opportunity to deepen their understanding of the dreamscape and to connect with others who shared their passion for dreaming. A new culture began to emerge within the dream network, one characterized by a shared sense of responsibility and a commitment to mutual growth. Dreamers started to work together, creating shared dreamscapes that were richer and more complex than anything one individual could have imagined. As this culture of collaboration grew, the dream network began to influence the waking world in new ways. Innovations inspired by collaborative dreams started to appear, solving problems that had stumped scientists and engineers for years. Artists found new sources of inspiration, creating works that bridged the gap between dreams and reality. The boundaries between dreamers and non-dreamers blurred as more people became curious about the potential of dreaming. Eli watched this evolution with a mixture of pride and humility. He had initiated the revival of dreaming, but the true architects of this new world were the dreamers themselves. His role was shifting. He was no longer the lone dream engineer, but a mentor, a facilitator, and, most importantly, a fellow dreamer among many. The Dream Network had become a testament to the power of collective imagination, a living example of what humanity could achieve when it embraced its innate capacity for creativity and connection. Eli knew that challenges would continue to arise, as they always do when exploring uncharted territory. But he also knew that the Dream Network was resilient, built on a foundation of shared values and a commitment to the common good. Looking ahead, Eli envisioned a future where the Dream Network would continue to evolve, becoming an integral part of human society. It would be a space where people could explore the depths of their consciousness, confront their fears, celebrate their joys, and, most importantly, connect with each other in profound and meaningful ways. The last dream engineer had ignited a spark, but it was the collective flame of humanity's imagination that would light the way forward. As the dawn of a new era embraced the world, the Dream Network had woven itself into the very essence of human existence. Dreams had become a universal language, a shared experience that transcended cultural and societal boundaries. Eli, once the solitary guardian of this lost art, had witnessed his life's work blossom into a global movement. The transformation he had dreamed of was now a reality, but with this realization came a moment of introspection. He pondered his place in a world where dreaming had become as natural as breathing. In this reflective state, Eli embarked on a personal journey through the dreamscape, exploring the myriad worlds he had helped to create. He observed dreamers engaging in acts of creativity, compassion, and discovery, each contributing to the tapestry of the collective dream with their unique threads. It was during these wanderings that Eli encountered a dream of such profound beauty and complexity that it stopped him in his tracks. It was a dreamscape that encapsulated the essence of what he had always believed. Dreams could be a place of infinite possibility, where the barriers of the waking world melted away. This encounter was a turning point for Eli. He realized that his role had evolved from engineer to observer, mentor, and participant. The Dream Network no longer needed a single guardian. It was sustained by the collective will and imagination of all dreamers. With this realization, Eli decided it was time to pass on the mantle of leadership to the community he had nurtured. He organized a gathering within the dreamscape, inviting dreamers from all corners of the network to come together in a celebration of their shared achievement. At this gathering, Eli spoke of the journey they had all undertaken, from the darkness of a dreamless world to the vibrant tapestry of the Dream Network. He shared his vision of the future, a world where dreaming and waking life were in harmony, each enriching the other. And then, with a heart both proud and humbled, Eli announced his decision to step back from his role as the central figure of the network, entrusting its care to the community of dreamers. The response was a surge of gratitude and respect. Dreamers from every part of the network stepped forward, pledging to uphold the values and principles that Eli had instilled. They recognized that the Dream Network was a living entity, constantly evolving, and that its stewardship was a shared responsibility. As the gathering came to a close, the dreamers dispersed, carrying with them the seeds of Eli's legacy, ready to nurture and grow the Dream Network in new and unforeseen directions. Eli watched as the dreamscape around him shimmered with the energy of collective dreaming. He felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that he had achieved what he set out to do. Not just to revive the art of dreaming, but to rekindle the flame of human imagination and spirit. As he prepared to explore new dreams, Eli understood that his journey was far from over. The Dream Network might no longer need him as its guardian, but the world of dreams was infinite, and his curiosity was undiminished. In the years that followed, Eli's name became legend within the Dream Network, a symbol of the power of one individual to inspire change. But more importantly, his story was a reminder that the true strength of dreaming lay in the collective, in the shared vision and effort of all who dared to dream. As new generations of dreamers emerged, they would find their place within the network, contributing to its ongoing evolution and discovering its limitless possibilities. The last dream engineer had completed his quest, but the story of dreaming was just beginning, an endless narrative of exploration, discovery, and connection. In this new world, every dreamer was an engineer of dreams, and the future was theirs to imagine and create.